This is about psychological warfare. A specific type of warfare designed to distract, misinform,
But trust me,
and anesthetize the brain.
We interrupt our programming. This is a national emergency. Important instructions will follow.
우리는 우리 마음에 파고드는
We must remain vigilant at all times
항상 경계의 고삐를
and be alert to their insidious attack on the mind,
이전에도 그러했듯이
for they have come before
이러한 공격은 또
and they will come again.
What's good, everybody? Peace. Here's a couple diagrams I want people to look over, and also about this 5G. I forgot the guy's name. Narc Slayer, I think his name is, or something like that. I will be putting his link in the description for people to check his channel out. And the important video that Ian shared is what got me looking into this, even though I already knew most of this information. I didn't realize it went so deep. So I am going to make a part 2, maybe a part 3, because there's so much information that ties into this, and it's very important people look into this stuff before just going with the 5th generation. So without any more said, let's get into these clips. I was reading this article and I decided to share it because it has good points in there. I've been reading a lot of articles, and I'm going to share different articles or different parts of articles to back up the fears that 5G weapon systems on UK streets after a conspiracist takes apart a light. If you go to Ian's channel, WeAreAwakeTV, he posted a very good video on the guy who takes apart the lights. Let me see if I still have the video up. Yes, I do. And this is the guy right here. Let me see if I could. This is his channel. Narc Slayer, right here. There you go. There's his channel. I advise people to go and check it out. And this is the video. Oh. Right here. But back to this article. It says streetlights installed with 5G are a weapon system being released into UK streets, a conspiracist has claimed. Over the last few months, claims have been made that 5G systems could be harming the environment and the public. And in a recent video, conspiracist Anthony Steele claimed a whistleblower who works for the police has come forward to confirm it. Anthony deconstructed a light he claims the whistleblower sent him. A light so he could see its inner elements. While taking it apart, he said, "This is a weapon system, nothing more than a weapon system. I know it's masquerading as a light, but it's a weapon." Okay, so these are pictures. What's going on? It's not going to load. Come on. Well, this is one of the wires, as you can see. It's in the video, the channel I showed you. I'll put that video that Ian posted in the description to make it easier for everyone to go watch. But this is the antenna he was showing that he took out in that video. It says, while stripping the light of its internal components, Anthony held the antenna up, which I just showed y'all. This has the 450 volt capacitor on it, and you see the cabling. It's ready. It's really important to see that, he said. It's an extremely dangerous piece of hardware. This is the single element and 31875. A lot of people are making complaints to the council now and making complaints that they are being lied to about this technology. Steve, of course, I hit the wrong button. Stephen went on to explosively claim that the councils are lying about what this is. He added it's an illegal piece of equipment. It's not a part FCC approved piece of equipment. This can target, acquire. It's a radar. That's a scanner. It's a scanner antenna. They are illegal. If anyone thinks that councils have the right to scan your home are mistaken. That's an offense in law. Since uploading this clip, yeah. So let's move on to the next article. So I'm going to read some stuff off of this article. It has that guy Mark Steele in here again. It says, in a powerful and technically insightful conversation aired at L.E.D reports on January 22nd, 2019, Mark Steele, technical weapons expert, patent writer, inventor, nuclear research technology officer, spoke forcefully about the dangers of 5G and the recent LED street light rollout in Gateshead, United Kingdom, which he says is part of the 5G rollout. He says, quote, 5G is a weapon system, nothing more, nothing less. Mark Steele declares, it's got nothing to do with telecommunications for humans. 5G is a machine-to-machine connection for autonomous vehicles, Faster, reduced latency. 5G is a machine-to-machine communications for self-driving vehicles. It says telecom companies selling 5G online and mainstream media also selling 5G online. Note this property of 5G on numerous websites. Videos and broadcasts touting the advantages of 5G. Or is that touting? Touting the advantages of 5G, which they say will not merely increase speed of cell phone communications 10 to 20 times faster than the fastest mobile networks today, but will reduce time taken for data transfer on your cell phone, known as latency, and become invaluable in all processes requiring super high-speed communications, such as robotic surgery, remote medical services, EMS, connected object communications, aka the Internet of Things, virtual reality, immersive experiences, and self-driving or autonomous vehicles. Pulsed high-frequency 5G radiation will cause immense harm to health. What these telecom companies and mainstream media outlets do not cover, however, are human and organic bioeffects likely from 5G. What will be the cost of 5G in human health? Mark Steele points out that the science is clear that high-frequency radiation will cause immense harm to human health. Pulsed at high frequencies, the amount of radiation emanating from the point-to-point transfer of energy required for autonomous vehicles is too high to be safe for humans, he says. What it is just sophisticated radar with enough emissions from a single autonomous vehicle to pose a problem for humans. And I just want to add in that I watched this video of this Russian guy who served in the military. I think he was Russian or British, one of the two. And he said this was in the 60s, and he was in the naval forces, and they used this radar with microwaves. And he says it's the same as 5G. And the people that were on that ship got health issues. I don't remember exactly what health issues he said, but I think it was the big one that rhymes with answer. Starts with a C. And they had that. and they were dying and stuff, and are very ill too. And I never forgot that video when I watched it, because I seen a commercial about Connecticut rolling it out in the richer areas, and the older people were scared. They did not want it. And these older people, there's scientists. I'm gonna see if I can find these articles of the scientists speaking out from University of Massachusetts, I think it was. And you know, it just bothers me because they roll this stuff out because they know it's gonna make money. And you know, the sad part is they only promote the good things about this 5G. They won't promote the bad parts. And to me, that's kind of like false advertisement, you know. But I guess you don't have to get it, but you're still going to be harmed by it because there's towers pinging everywhere. Like when I ride the bus, the route that it goes, there's this fast track that I take, and it's a bus route, and it's in Connecticut, and all along this route, a couple miles, there's just nothing but towers, towers and towers, because you could track these buses now in Connecticut through GPS, through the towers pinging, and you could literally see where the bus exactly is moving. And I mean, there's all sorts of things, just free internet on the bus and all that, and they have towers every so many feet, I would say. And to me, that's just, I don't know, I don't agree with it. Let's move on. It says, using graphics from telecom companies detailing the way in which 5G's Wi-Fi signals will be transmitted from antenna to receiver on the street. Mark describes the tram-like system, which will be used to orient and propel autonomous vehicles down the street. Antenna systems located on street lights would be part of this network, pulsing passers-by, residents, drivers, walkers, and shoppers with unhealthy amounts of high-frequency radiation. And that's one of the things the guy talked about that served in the Navy, was the high radiations. And I'm going to pose this chart right here after the video, or maybe it'll be in the beginning of the video, but I'm going to put the chart up. It says, operating in the invisible part of the electromagnetic spectrum across a wide range of frequencies, 5G, much unlike the mainstream notion, unlike the mainstream notion, posiding the 1 to 300 gigahertz range for its domain, operates actually in the sub-gigahertz range, Mark notes, from 400 to 600 megahertz and upward. Specs for the LED streetlights mounted now on poles in Gateshead suggested an 800 to 875 megahertz. Definitely within the 5G range, he says. In a short video reporting his notice to the council about crimes against humanity being committed by unsafe installed technology affecting the public, Mark Steele observes that the light from these lamps harm children's retinas, citing a recent UK health report by Public Health England on LED flicker rate being harmful to human eyes. And these are I guess the new street lamps they're putting up, or lights. Gateshead County Council members deny that the LED lights installed in Gateshead, which are indeed equipped with control system Wi-Fi antennas at around 860 megahertz, comprise an undisclosed 5G rollout, and have alleged that Mark Steele is fear-mongering and harassing the city council with his information on 5G, a notion thrown out recently in Newcastle County Court by a judge who recognized that Mark Steele is a technical expert who has done relevant research on the subject and needed to be heard. That's a judge that, let me put this picture to show people. It says, it should be noted that the intended use of 5G for autonomous vehicles does envision the projection of 5G from streetlights and traffic light frames, noted in graphical descriptions as in this BBC video on 5G. Oh, so this is a video. Beamforming used in 5G system is a weapons capability. This technology is not secured. This is offering a close study of the antenna system hardware mounted on streetlights. Mark Steele noted that the complicated chipset and dielectric antenna lens denote beamforming, a weapons capability used in battlefield interrogation, which is now being brought to the streets. It says IE explains that beamforming is indeed an aspect of 5G, a means of sending directed millimeter wave radiation directly to a target, such as, for instance, a cell phone, as you see in this picture right here. We're going to look this up, this beamforming here. But what it implies also, says Mark, is the capability to direct a precision beam of high energy, like, let me finish, a direct of precision beam of high energy pulses at a human, such as the human holding the cell phone or any humans in the way of the transmission, sort of like a direct energy weapon maybe. It says the biological effects of this intense radiation on humans must be known. And there is already a lot of information from scientific studies about the harm caused to humans by Wi-Fi radiation. So let's read this right here. Harmful effects of RF and EMF exposure are already proven. Ready? It says over 230 scientists from more than 40 countries have expressed their serious concerns regarding the ubiquitous, whatever that means, we're going to look that word up, regarding the ubiquitous increasing exposure to EMF generated by electric and wireless devices already before the additional 5G rollout. They refer to the fact that numerous recent scientific publications have shown that EMF affects living organisms at levels well below most international and national guidelines. Effects include increased cancer risk, cellular stress, increase in harmful free radicals, genetic damages, structural and functional changes of the reproduction system, learning and memory deficits, neurological disorders, and negative impacts on general well-being in humans. Damages go well beyond the human race, as there is growing evidence of harmful effects to both plants and animals. After the scientist appeal was written in 2015, additional research has convincingly confirmed serious health risks from RF EMF fields from wireless technology. The world's largest study, $25 million US, National Toxicology Program, the NTP, shows statistically significant increase in the incidence of brain and heart cancer in animals exposed to EMF below the ICNIRP, the International Commission on the International Commission on Non-Ionizing Radiation Protection. Guidelines followed by most countries. These results support results in human epidemiological studies on RF radiation and brain tumor risk. A large number of peer-reviewed scientific reports demonstrate harm to human health from EMFs. To add, this aspect of directed beamforming becomes doubly problematic when you consider the fact that 5G will be a computerized rollout, suggesting hackability since this technology is not secured. And I want to find this video right here, microwave radar, because that's what the guy was talking about in the Navy there, microwave. Anyone can hack in, Mark says, illustrating how this non-visible high-frequency radiation is essentially surveillance radar, which can be used to see through walls and houses. Oh, so that's why they're showing that here. Utterly destroying privacy, and indeed breaking extant laws on privacy. He suggests that this technology could be hacked into a revenge seekers and used against anyone in a targeted way. Today, he says, we know about targeted individuals who report microwave radiation weapons attacks. But 5G will make it possible for anyone and everyone to be targeted. Anyone, even a judge, a police officer, anyone who thinks, who poses a problem to someone's agenda could be targeted this way. Interestingly, he notes, Wi-Fi equipped streetlights are manufactured mostly in China and Taiwan. These are weapon systems, he notes, coming to the West from China. What are they doing in Gateshead, UK? Excuse me. And I also was going to make a video about this. I'll talk about it in another video about it has to do with China. It says human brains will be, I don't know that word, man. Deleteriously. I gotta say it, hold on. Deleteriously impacted by 5G. I probably said that wrong. One of the most disturbing aspects of 5G, it appears, is that it will cause harm, especially to human brains, children's brains, and babies' brains. This is the same type of technology that was used in the Cuba attacks, he says, that was beamed in Moscow, that was used in the China attacks on U.S. diplomats. The first signs are those of neurological disorder, which has been reported in these cases. Children especially would become vulnerable, as studies of wireless radiation impacts on brains already show, with higher absorbency and spread of radiation visible in brain MRIs of young children. And this is the picture right here. Despite the existence of hundreds of studies detailing harm, and hundreds of scientists coming together to speak out against planetary rollouts of 5G, telecom companies and city councils are paying no attention to the warning signals from data and are racing ahead with plans to install 5G in cities, breaking laws on privacy and public safety to do so. They will only be stopped through public outcry and public action, says Mark, which is why he is keen to spread solid information on 5G to all. His latest report on trees being cut in Gateshead, beautiful old stately street trees, to accommodate the 5G rollout is particularly unsettling. IE notes that the extremely short wavelength radiation of 5G is absorbed by rain and trees, as also large buildings, necessitating the installation of multiple small cell masts in residential areas and cities. Is it for this reason that trees are being removed on city streets? They are here too in my city. That's crazy. Please see this latest video from Mark Steele depicting the ruthless cutting down of trees. Installations on the sides of houses, for instance, are illegal, Mark notes, because they would pose an extreme health hazard, flooding the bedroom of children and adults with harmful, pulsed high-energy radiation. Similarly, installations on street lights and on the multiple small cells envisioned by 5G rollout, maestros would flood residences, all human homes in cities, with pulsating, organ-damaging, and brain-damaging radiation, destroying cognitive processes, impairing health, vitally and fitness, and plausibly transforming healthy city dwellers into chronically ill, brain-damaged patients needing permanent rescue from the medical services and pharmaceutical industry. Children in Gateshead have reported nosebleeds, Mark notes, right after the new street lights were installed, and incidents of miscarriages have occurred. Mark Steele also points to increase in sudden infant deaths in recent years. Are these the first warning signs of a public health disaster? Our children and grandchildren and those politicians' children will die, warns Mark Steele. If we permit 5G to be installed, this is a weapon system. It will bring genocide and sterility. Sterile. You become sterile. Whatever that word is, I can't say it. And that's about all I'm gonna say. This is just about the cars that are gonna roll out. Please let me know in the comments what you think and what's your take on this whole 5th generation tech. And please stay tuned for part 2 and maybe a part 3, because part 2 will be about the scientists who came out and spoke on the health parts of this, and part 3 will be more evidence and proof. And I'm going to throw a couple patents in there and some more information backing people's claims. Peace out, everyone.